Hi. So today I am going to be telling you a story, a real story. Today I am going to be telling a story. Today I am going to be telling a real story from my life while I will be chewing some bubblegum. That is here. Now, I have these Jenka. Don't know if you know them. We always bought them when I was a child. Well, I'm going to start with one piece. Maybe I'll be chewing more. We'll see. Yeah. The story is quite a tragic comic story, meaning that today, thinking back upon it, I can laugh about it and find it quite funny, but back then it wasn't not funny at all, and it had consequences. Let's just say that. In a way, money, economic consequences. And just to be sure, just to be clear, if you see cuts in the video where I edited, that is because I'm Danish. I don't speak English or American so well, so that's not my mother tongue. So if that is, then it is because I'm searching. I don't know how to say a word. I don't know how. Maybe I don't know how to formulate. I can let it feel now. This needs one more piece. So let's see. I really want to share the story with you guys, and I know I can say it in Danish, but obviously you're not going to be able to understand it, and yeah, making subtitles is not an option for me right now. Okay, I want to start out with telling you guys what in Danish it is called a busslose. I have it here on Wikipedia. It's I don't know if you know what it is. A bus lock or a bus trap. I have also seen that. It translated that way. I don't know if you have it over in America. I know it is in Germany and in Great Britain, where they call it a car trap. Much more suitable. Well, before I yabble more on, I'm going to just explain what it is. A bus lock is a traffic device whose purpose is to allow buses, but not other road users, to drive on a stretch of road. Bus locks are basically built in two ways. Stationary obstacles often consist of a hole a bus pit or an elevation, popularly called a pothole crusher, in the middle of the roadway. At the pits, the wheels of the buses are so far apart that they can drive over the hole, while passenger cars will fall into the hole. At the bottom vessel crusher, the height is usually so high that the passenger cars scrape on, hence the name, while the buses have greater clearance under the bottom. At the same time, the elevation is wide enough that this also gives cars passage problems. Heights are, however, going out of fashion again, in line with the purchase of low-floor buses, which also have problems with obstacles in the middle of the road. So I can show you guys a picture of it. And I often think about why I wasn't taught about bus traps, car traps, when I was taking my driver's license. I really do hope that they teach this today, or maybe it was that one single time I was sick and went home from driver's class. But yeah, it had consequences for me, and I know I'm not the only one who's made this mistake. So I think it is so stupid that they don't teach about it. Why not? I mean, come on. Okay. Should I take one more gum? Tastes good. Okay, let's begin the story. I was 25. I got my driver's license when I was 19. I was going to see some of my girlfriends, my friends. My friend back then just moved into a newly built house in a totally new area. Where everything was new, houses and roads and in the outcast of the city. So I was I couldn't quite find my way over there by myself, so of course I used my navigation. So that here comes another warning: never trust the navigation. If she says go that way, go this way, just before you go, think about it. So I was driving towards her and followed the navigation. So suddenly, when my the navigation said something about turn right, I could see that this looks weird. This road here, this looks weird. I've never seen a road like that, and it also had, yeah, it was dark. To my excuse, it had that big white round sign, and of course now today I know it means don't drive this way. Driving this way is prohibited. But I couldn't quite understand if my navigation said I should go that way. It couldn't be. It had to be possible. I didn't think about back then that maybe the map of the navigation hadn't learned about that new area. So she didn't knew that was a car trap. Well, the story is I drove slowly. Oh, okay, I'll go. I'll try. It can't be true if that I can't pass this way. So I drove, and suddenly, boom! I was hanging there, you guys. I was so afraid, worried. Oh my God, what was this? What happened? What do I do? All thoughts was running by in my head. So obviously luckily I had my mobile phone in my bag with me, so I took my mobile out to call my husband for help, to tell him what had happened. So yes, long story short, when I started looking up my mobile phone and was about to call him, calling my my panic. You won't believe this, guys. My cell phone ran out of power. Can you believe it? Well, I was like, no way, this is happening to me. So what do you do in that situation? You can't do anything other than going out of the car and run over to the nearest house to see and ask if they have a phone that I can borrow to ring, because I drove into some kind of hole over there. And well, the first house I approached, I rang the doorbell and the woman came out, and of course she didn't have a phone, obviously. Apparently that's a thing. So me running over to the next house. And luckily, this guy that opened, he was very understanding. He knew about that bus trap, and he could tell me that I wasn't the only one who'd been trapped in there. So, of course, he'd lend me his phone, and I called my husband, who was with his friends drinking beer. So of course he couldn't come to my rescue, but luckily he could call his father, who came as quickly as he could with a rope to tie onto his car. So I'm so grateful that he could think quickly. So yeah, and he pulled me up. But and of course I was in a very, it was a rush, it was a rush against time, because obviously when it occurred to me what it was that I had bumped into, then I knew that won't be long before a new bus is going to come to, and when I'm holding there in that hole, of course he cannot pass, he won't be able to pass, so I will be in his way, and obviously right about when my father-in-law, he was pulling me up, the bus arrived, and just to make it any worse for me, of course, he was the bus driver. He opened the window and he was very annoyed. Of course, a bus driver with no empathy whatsoever will be throwing a tantrum towards a young girl in that situation. I mean, why? Why did he have to? It's like as if I did it on purpose. Oh, he was tired of people falling into that hole, so he couldn't get to his. He couldn't hold his schedule. Well, because that is not people's fault. It's yeah, it is people, those who build the roads and not teach enough about it. Well, the car came up and we were very excited to see if the car had been damaged, or we thought that it was damaged, but all of luck, it just started and could drive like nothing happened. So I went to see my friend, and I drove there rather shocked and shaky. And now I told you that the consequences were very economic earlier. So it turned out that the car did actually the car was harmed. So it kept making I can't really remember, but it kept making sounds, and it had to go to repair at the mechanics all the time. Something about under the bottom of the car, the axles were hurt in some way, and the arms that carries the car had to be eventually had to be replaced. So eventually we sold the car and got a new one. So yeah, that was my tragic comic story of my acquaintance with a bus trap. So I don't know if you have these kind of mean things at the road on some roads in America. Of course, I can see the idea that they don't want cars passing to a quiet area, and maybe it only should be buses going into that area. But tell about it better, teach about it better during driver's license, when you take your driver's license. So yeah, that was my story time, my first time ASMR story time. I hope you enjoyed. I haven't thought about storing the happening in many years, but here, just the other day, suddenly it popped up to my mind again. I don't know why, but it was something about, oh yeah, I can tell you that story. And that would make a great, quite funny story to tell, to share with others. if not for the amusement, then for the entertainment. I mean, for the educational purposes. Alright guys, see you in the next one.